afternoon, fifth period.
Good afternoon.
Woo! All right, so after taking a look through your blue books, these are the items that seem to be of the most concern for quite a portion of you. So instead of doing a calculator lesson with you guys today, I am going to do this lecture presentation. This means that at the end of the lecture presentation, you must jot down the URL for the video. You must get that video watched because tomorrow you're going to be doing that calculator assignment with very little help from me, and I need you to understand a little bit of what's going on before you do it, okay? All right, so the first item, I'd like to make sure that you guys have some pencils on this one, please. If you don't normally use pencil, please make sure you get a toolbox and you get one. All right. So one of the concerns that I noticed in walking around was sketching some things, and in particular, sketching planes that are intersecting. Okay, I know that one of the ones that was giving some trouble was 3, so so I don't give you the answer, I'm gonna put 4. So we're gonna sketch 4 planes that intersect at one line. Okay, so that's what we're gonna try to get done. Now to represent a plane, to sketch out a plane, we're gonna do like this long rectangle thing. And now we're going to have to imagine kind of in 3 dimensions this thing's kind of like standing up or something. It's like a little piece of cardboard. And I need to find some spot of intersection on this thing. Where do I want this piece of paper that I've drawn to get cut or to get run into by another one? And I saw a few people doing this at me. Like across the middle somewhere? Yeah. You didn't want to say it out loud to have your voice. Okay. I totally know sign language. All right, so that's where she wanted the intersection to be. And I need 4 planes. So I need 4 things that are going to go through this spot. I'm going to start with one of them. Here's one. And I'm going to draw it long enough so that way it kind of looks like it's coming out. Okay? Now the question is this on the back? Is this behind the plane that I drew originally? Or is it sticking out kind of in front? Okay, you want it to kind of be sticking out in front. That means these lines are going to be dark. And this one right here, we're going to have to make softer and make kind of like a dotted line so that it gives us the impression that that's behind that other piece that we drew. Does that make sense? I feel like we're in art class, right? Yeah? All right. And now we've got to continue this guy. We've got to stick this plane going out here. So I'm going to lightly sketch where I want it in and then darken the lines that aren't being covered by the other plane and then put dots on the dotted line on the part of the plane that is being covered. Make sense? Looks like it's kind of sticking through now. And I understand this is an acquired skill. Okay, don't forget if it doesn't look exactly perfect and beautiful. Okay, you just want it to give a rough idea. That's a sketch. It's just a rough idea. Okay, but I needed 4 planes, right? So coming out of here, I need another one. So I guess I'm going to stick it this way. I don't know, just making stuff up now. Same question. Do I want this to be sticking up and out, or do I want it to be kind of behind? Behind? Okay, so if I want it to be behind this plane needs to have the harsh line, and all of this right here has to be the ghostly line. I lost my eraser cap, so. Now, is it behind this plane and in front of this plane, or is it behind both of them? You tell me. Which one do you want it to look like? It's behind both of them? Okay, so if it's behind both of them, then this has to be super ghostly and this has to be kind of medium ghostly. So it's behind both of them. So now this thing is kind of like tilted way back there, which means it's coming out in front this way. And so now it's on top of both of them. So this has to be kind of ghostly, that has to be kind of ghostly. Dotted lines. Something like that. Oh, and this, yeah, has to be dotted line. And now we need a fourth plane in there somewhere. So you're going to do it again and try to get a fourth plane sticking in there somewhere. Yeah, it's trippy. It's chippy. All right, let's try it again. We're going to start off with a plane. It's kind of weird. I get it. We stop thinking mathematically at this point and we start thinking artistically at this point, which really there isn't much difference except that math people throw numbers at a wall and artists throw paint at a wall. I mean, that's the only difference. So we'll make our numbers out of paint and do both. Huh? I think paint's better? Well, let's make our numbers out of paint and then we can be both at the same time. We'll take sponges in the shape of numbers. We'll dip the sponges in paint and we'll throw the sponges at the wall. There we go. All right, so here's one plane. We said that we wanted the intersection there. And we wanted this thing to come out in front or in behind. I don't know. It's kind of... So let's have it sticking out this way. So this is in front. And this is going to be the piece that's behind. And I need this to keep going like a magician's trick.
Honestly, I think she's going to help me draw things. I can see a whole bunch of things I can draw with all that.
Yeah.
The door, like, no.
Yeah, no, totally. Totally. If you use geometric concepts in your drawings, your artwork is going to be fantastic. Okay, so there's two. I guess let's do another one here so it kind of looks like right here. So here's another one.
Mine don't look like that big. Oh, you already started a new one?
Yeah, there's a third one. Do you see it? So here's one. Here's the first plane right here. Do you want me to put some color on this?
Yeah.
With having some color make it look better?
Honestly, it's
Okay.
like, probably connect with the steamboat.
Yeah, the paddle. This is the paddle wheel of a steamboat. Totally. Look, here's one paddle. Right here.
Okay, so one.
There's one. You see it?
I draw a rectangle. How?
It's okay. It's okay. No, mine only look this good. No, it looks fantastic. What are you even talking about? That looks fantastic. Okay, here's another one right here, which is this one. And then there's the white one. This is the Captain America paddle boat. But this picture wanted 4. This has only got 3.
Yeah.
So I guess let's put one here. I don't like that. And I'm going to make it black because there. Do you see it? It's in here,
Miss, I have a mess in my paper.
right in here. It's right in there. Do you see it?
No. On yours, yes.
On mine, yes.
Not
On
ours.
yours, it's.
I'm coming.
This is years of practice. This is seriously, honestly, this is total years of doodling in English class.
Okay, could I
I shouldn't say that out loud.
take a picture of it, take
Yeah.
it home, print it out, and then
Study it
glue
and say glue it in there. No, I want you to draw it, even if it looks crazy and dumb and weird.
But
And,
if I draw it, then I'm not gonna understand it.
and that's why you come back and watch the video.
Miss. Oh, man.
You can take a picture, print it out, glue it underneath your attempt, not covering your attempt. Okay. I want your attempt there. I want your attempt there. All right. So far, so good. Kind of. All right. All right. All right. The next one that was concerning was something that said draw like some non-collinear points. Right? And then after you draw them, it asks you to sketch.
Does mine look like a paddle?
Kind of does. It's a very Picasso paddle. It's a Picasso paddle. It wants you to sketch. Okay, 5 non-collinear points. L-I-O-N-S. Look, 5 points. And then it wants you to sketch things like all these weird, funny symbols. Right? There was one of them that a couple people got stuck on. That you had to do this. What does non-collinear mean? Yeah, stuff not on the same line. So just put these 5 points any place you want. Seriously, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, points. Wow, I'm still working on the first thing. Step 1. Don't get ahead of me. All right, let's label them. L-I-O-N-S. And now we can go on to the second step. And the second thing said, ray, S-O. What's a ray?
It's
Part of the line
it's
that has an endpoint.
point and all the points on the line
And everything in one direction. And this is always that endpoint. So I'm going to start at S, and I'm going to go toward O, and I'm going to go past O, and I'm going to put my arrow. Look, it's a ray. See it? All right, this, what's that?
No.
Line or line segment? Line segment, because there's no arrows. So it's going to start at N and end at O. Oops, I missed. There, that's what I meant to do. Something. Pencil color box. Come back here, pencils. Okay. And now it wants this thing. What is that? Line. And it has to have L and I in it. Yeah, and he's doing the things with his hands, so. Look, it's a line. Ta-da! Now, when you do that section, it's not going to look anything like this, because remember, you put those points anywhere you want, and you put the names where, like, you name whichever one you want. All
I'm
right?
trying to match with my gears.
Good luck, because that paper says 4 and this one is 5, so. What? Yep. All right.
It's
All right, new section. New section. New section. We were given an equation of the line. So here's some equation. I have no idea, I just made it up. And they want to know, is this point S on the line? Give me a point. Give me coordinates. 4, 8. Okay. So made up. Another example. Hang on to those numbers. So made up an equation and a made up point, and I want to know, is that point on this equation of the line? Here's how we find out. We want to use substitution. This is my x coordinates. This is my y coordinate. Everywhere I see an x, I'm going to put that number. Every time I say a y, I'm going to put that other number. Make sense? All right, let's do it. Let's do it, baby. I'm changing colors just to make it painfully obvious what I'm doing, all right? You don't have to change colors if you don't want to. And now I'm going to evaluate. There's no solving anymore, because solving happens when there's variables. And this new line that I have rewritten right here by my thumbnail totally has no variables. This thing's not solvable in the methods that you're used to, subtracting stuff from both sides and dividing and just evaluate. Just do the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division that it asks you to. Nothing to do on the left, but stuff to do on the right. 3 times 4 is?
12,
Plus 1 is?
13.
And then you go self. Is 8 the same thing as 13? No! Which means this point is not on the line. That's it. If it did make these numbers the same, let's say you got 13 equals 13, then it would be on the line. And you'd say yes. Make sense? Well, there's like 7 questions from that handout now. And here's the last section that I saw a lot of people struggling with. It was graph the inequality. And you were given something like this. X is less than or equal to 3. And you were given some sort of number line. And that's all you were given. And you had to graph this thing. Start with your, like, street sign. 3. So I'm going to start with 3, and I'm going to put it anywhere I want. It doesn't matter. It looks like it's kind of in the middle, wherever you want. And then you got to ask yourself, do I color in the dot, the circle that I drew at 3? Yes or no? She's saying yes. Why? Because the symbol means or equal to. So if you don't remember what this sign is, you need to take a moment over here and jot down what that sign means. This sign means less than or equal to. So if you didn't remember that, you should write it down. If you remember it and you feel comfortable, don't write it down. Okay, so I'm going to color it in because you said so. Now, do I color everything on the left or on the right? On the right? The symbol says, yeah, it says less than, and it's a kind of a weird question sometimes, right? It asks for less than, so it's everything to the left. So, like that. And I made the arrow really big to make it clear. It just keeps going. It's all of those numbers. Is it coming back to you now? Y'all did some of this, right? Like what, middle school? Tail end of grade school? It was a little bit last year in algebra? Yeah. That's about the time frame you should have done it. So it's all coming back. It's a Celine Dion song? Isn't it Celine Dion who sings that one? Or am I... It's all coming back to me now. Who sings that song? No help from the peanut gallery today? Such love. All right, so what if we have something that looks like this? Now we have 2 street signs to deal with. There's -2 and there's 5. Like the other one, I'm totally gonna, thank you. I'm going to put the circles there, and then I'm going to say to self, on the -2, do I color in the dot at -2?
Yes.
Why?
Because it has that one.
Perfect. Now, which side of the X do I color it on?
That way.
The left side or the right side?
Right. That way. If you're right.
Okay. You're saying left because this reads less than. But it's right because the X is on the right.
Or miss, and also because this is our left side going this way, and that's yours.
Well, but
The other way.
yeah, no, we're going to color this way to the right. We're coloring this way to the right because we want -2 to be less than the stuff we color. We want the -2 to be less than the stuff that we color. So if I colored over here, all this stuff is less than -2. I want the stuff that I color
Oh, more.
to be more than. I want -2 to be less than the stuff I color. So if I color over here, everything over there is going to make it so that -2 is less than that. All right, now I'm going to go to 5. Do I color in the circle at 5?
Yes.
Yes. So there I am. I'm using 2 different colors.
And then that one goes to that.
And then this one goes to the other way, to the left. Do you see where the colors blended and changed? Yellow and blue make green. That's where the graph of this thing lives. Okay, it's just where those two colors meet up. This is total art class right now. It's where the colors blended and you got a new color. Make sense? All right, last one. X is less than or equal to -4, or X is greater than 3. It's going to start the same way. Guys, make the side conversation later, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to do my horrible British accent for a moment. Yes. All right, so we have this one now. It's a really bad accent, sorry. Okay, so we have this one right now. We have our guidepost -4 and 3. So the question I have for you is, do I color in the dot at -4?
Yes.
Why?
It has the
It has the or equal to. And which way am I going to color? To the left or to the right?
to right. This way.
To the left, to the left. All the numbers to the... I don't know. Yeah, can't do. All right, the 3. Am I going to color in the dot at 3? No. And which way am I going to color? To the left or to the right?
To the right.
To the right, to the right. Make sure you miss. Do your very best to miss that dot at 3. And there is what it looks like.
I don't think that's accurate. You got a speck in the circle. Oh. Oh,
You got me? You got me? You got me?
Because it's the X is less than or equal to 4, that one was -2.